in fact, these two teams have already faced off once this weekend. Mogliacci got the better of Shaktool's there, and that's why Shaktool's is now 3-2 when they came into the week 3-1.
Yep.
So we should be getting underway momentarily. Just to remind you, this is Casual Boots. You can see the sword and the boots already showing up both on their menu screens and the trackers.
And while bomb's not nearly as important in casual boots because we're going to be able to bonk to get the items in the back, it is nice to get those bombs immediately at Link's house, so you don't really have to think about whether you'll have bombs for Kakariko or not. And Moogle immediately checking a map. I think I saw a pendant on Eastern and crystals on Hera and Desert, but I won't swear to it. Hopefully our trackers pick that up. Lady Laura Linda doing the tracking for us today.
I saw a pendant on Eastern and a crystal on Desert. I didn't catch Hera.
Yeah, I think Hera was also a crystal, but I wouldn't swear to it.
Oh, nice full magic fill on Moogle Charm's side. Now, I believe even in casual boots, the drops during escape are seeded, so Azure could get those same drops from the guards if he wanted to.
Yeah, I don't see him going after those, especially with the bombs already in his possession. He's very notorious for not wanting to do anything that isn't absolutely necessary to save time, so don't see him killing extra enemies for that.
To make up for the fact that he doesn't use Quick Swap?
Perhaps. It's kind of a shame. It's something he and I have talked about a lot. The one of the things that QuickSwap has done is those runners that are really good at menuing, I think they lose that advantage by having QuickSwap. And yeah, he loses the advantage of having better menu times than most runners do, and then also loses time to not actually using QuickSwap at all. Although we've seen people use QuickSwap very badly too in the we don't actually see any kind of statistics about that.
Yes, nothing like mirroring out of a boss fight.
Yeah, there's that. I was just thinking about when a runner just stands there mashing their L or R button to get to the right item, but yeah, that's an even better example.
And Azure already on the ball in Chain Guard here.
And Zelda's just having the map for us, so we're gonna have to check that chest at Sanctuary.
But it does mean, since we've gotten the map and the key, that everything from here to Sank is items.
Yeah, that's always nice.
And of course we get our free light cone in the sewers as always.
And if we come back for any reason, although you would never come back in a casual boots situation, but you know, you see in just other modes when you don't start with boots, sometimes you don't get the bombs to do the back, and occasionally the game wants you to do the back before you have gloves.
Yeah, so this obviates all that. Maybe there are even gloves in the back. That's often why the game wants you to do the back before you get gloves.
Most of the time, but it doesn't have to be gloves. But yeah, that's a pretty common one.
By the way, what's Azure's sprite tonight? It's some form of Link.
Yeah, it's from a ROM hack. I always get this wrong. So I always want to say a Link Between Worlds, but that's not a ROM hack. It's a... oh gosh, Polar Bear Bunny would help me out if she were here, but she's busy commentating the SMZ3 rando on another channel, so... Parallel Worlds, thank you, D-Web. I don't know why that just doesn't stick in my head.
So here we are in Dark Cross.
More bombs.
Well, we're definitely going to be set for CAC then.
6 is a really good number for Kakariko.
And of course, you can always bonk your way through the House to Race game, so that's one place where you don't even need a bomb.
It means you don't really even have to buy them afterwards, because with 3 bombs you can do, you can get into Mini Moldorm Cave. You got a sword to kill the Mini Moldorm, so you don't need extra bombs there, and then you have 1 left for Ice Palace. Or sorry, for Ice Rod Cave, gosh. And there's more money, so money just not going to be an issue.
Yeah, once we get through Blind's Hut, we're guaranteed enough to pay the bottle vendor.
Yep. One last item. Didn't really get a whole lot of interesting items. We've seen some escapes that have just been stacked, but not this one. And more money.
Well, now we're getting close to Zora money if we had logical Zora access.
Well, it's not uncommon to see runners just do Zora anyway because you can set up the Boots Water Walk so easily and do it so much quicker. There's another map check, and I did see crystals at Desert and Hera, so... And lots of rupees. And Moogle just says, no, I'm not going to go to Kakariko. Must be taking some lessons from his teammate, Jewel Ninja. Who often does some of these more unusual routes.
And Astor's checking our tier 2 tree pull, just arrows today.
Oh, nice crab. If we want to do...
Yeah, that'll be an easy way to farm Zora money if we need it.
Oh, and bombs on the lumberjack ledge. Not gonna get those.
Is Astor like using a CRT or something?
Yeah, he occasionally has issues with some wires. So what we're seeing on the screen, he's trying to play through. So yeah, it's gonna be. He is using a CRT, but that's not really the issue. The issue is some wiring, but it's not pinpointed.
I didn't even see what was in Mushroom Spot, but Astor didn't want it.
No, I want to say Piece of Heart, but yeah, it wasn't anything interesting. Half Magic's nice though.
Wow, early desert area play, just 20 rupees on the ledge, and now we're going to see a Gina.
Yeah, this is probably the earliest I've ever seen a Gina in a randomizer. But if it's something, you know, yeah, it does help to have boots for that. I kind of think of Vegina as like the free play if you have book and you want to follow that to desert. And it's just a container heart, so.
I mean, health's not a bad thing to get.
Yeah, especially this early, but it's definitely not what Moogle was hoping to score there. And a bottle, which is nice because we'll be able to check Sick Kid while we're here.
Yeah, always nice when you can route that in. Oh, and a bow, so all those arrows are finally useful.
Yeah, but why is it so this is what I don't understand. So during the tournament last spring, I swear we kept getting these bow starts and, you know, early bow with Crystal Eastern Palace. But as soon as we go back to just normal casual boots rather than, you know, the standard mode with all the hard, you know, the hard logic, Nope. If you're gonna get an early bow, it's just gonna be Pendant Eastern. We're not gonna be kind to you there.
Oh, there's a cape. We're now a lamp away from logical AGA access.
Yep. Always fun. Which that bow could also be for, because logical AGA access, you know, with the bow means you're probably going to pod.
Yeah, and that moon pearl in Mini Moldorm Cave is another piece of the equation.
It sure is. Now just missing a lamp. Okay, let's see what Sick Kid has for us. Just 10 arrows, so
this is like the arrow seed. So Moogle's charging his water walk, so with that kind of money and the moon pearl to do waterfall fairy, it looks like he is thinking the whole Zora area.
Yeah, if he does a fake flipper here, he can use that, save that stored water walk. Looks like he's going to save that stored water walk to get it off of the hobo here, or the hobo here. He could alternatively save that into the Zora area and use it to get the ledge item, should that item be something good.
Early powder's interesting. I wonder if that means that the hammer's going to turn up soon and we'll have something on Magic Bat.
Yeah, but if we get the hammer, we have Dark World access. Just bombs at the hobo.
Oh yeah, that glove in the tavern.
Yep. That said, doesn't mean there can't be something else important there. It just won't be a piece of our Dark World access.
Oh, it'll probably be something trivial like the flippers or the hook shot.
Yeah, you know, one of those other important things. Now, I'd be shocked if Azure decided to go over to Aegina here. Oh no, Moogle. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, but why didn't he go into Waterfall Cave?
That is a really good question.
Vanilla Piece of Heart on Zora Ledge, don't want that, but like, okay, you're now out of fake flipper mode. You can't go into Waterfall Cave, but
cannot.
yeah, he like.
Yeah, I don't understand going over here unless you're gonna go do the Waterfall Cave as well.
Right, I mean,
farming up his rupees.
He has the Moon Pearl.
Yep. We don't even need the Moon Pearl if you go in with the Water Walk.
Also true. Well, it's relevant if you happen to get a fourth piece of heart in there. Then the Moon Pearl becomes important.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
For those of you who might not know, if you happen to get a fourth piece of heart, or I guess Sank Heart in Waterfall Cave, it will kill your Water Walk.
Yeah, there's some weird things that go on with this game. But yeah, with the Moon Pearl though, if that does happen, then you just go out in and out again, and you can get your Water Walk back through the Moon Pearl.
And there's our Aga access.
Yep. Interesting that Moogle is going to continue on to Eastern, it looks like.
Without the bow. Because he hasn't been to CAC.
Yep. I mean, if there's something good here, that could be pretty important, but, you know, that bow really does see, like I said before, bow for pod after Aga just so often comes into play. And I don't expect Azure to check the hobo. I think he'll just do the more standard. He'll check the island here, but he'll probably most likely do the standard. Go into the Waterfall Ferry and then do Zora.
Yeah. So now we'll see what Moogle missed.
He missed nothing. So yeah. Slight time save if he never goes back. If he does go back, slight time loss. A piece of heart in Eastern so far. I expect Azure to go over to the Eastern area, and I expect him to get his lamp, and it would not surprise me if he just left. But we'll see. I mean, could try and do Eastern to hopefully avoid Aga access, but I personally find that Eastern very rarely bails you out of Aga. Could still happen though. And it's not gonna bail anyone out of Aga here.
Yeah, so Moogle still needs that cape.
Yep. He needs to check Rico. Yeah, saving Clinton. Yeah.
He probably sees the writing on the wall, though.
Probably.
He can do Old Man and Spec Rock if he wants, which I think he's
gonna do.
The Sank start.
Which is fine. I mean, this at least gets you it gets you that save and quit spot. Which is always nice. You're gonna have to get up there anyway, but only a couple items that you can get here. They are both in logic with the lamp, though. Normally it's like one in logic, one out of logic, and one you can look at. This time it's 2 in logic and 1 you can look at.
And also, since we're 1 item away from non-Aga Dark World access, you never know, you might get the Mitts or the Hammer up here.
But he won't. I don't think he'll ever go into Eastern. If he wasn't going to go into Eastern when he was right there, he's not going into Eastern now. And of course, the old man does not let us use our boots because it's actually slower to run with boots, with the old man, than it is to walk.
Maybe the old man's secretly carrying scissors, and you know what they say about running with scissors, so
That's right.
the game just won't let you.
There you go. See if this is anything interesting. It is not. And I think we're going to Aga.
Yeah,
No,
and with
this
Moogle
isn't-
having gone into Eastern, we know that this really is where the logic's pointing us.
Yeah, we've seen both Eastern and Aegina on Moogle side. I think that's all we have left. I don't think there's anything else left. So this is a, it's a small gamble on Azure's part because, like, you're always. I know when I do this play, I'm always worried about it, but I am of the opinion that I'd rather get it wrong by going to Aga and being aggressive than, get it wrong because I just waited too long to do it and my opponent just finishes that much quicker because they didn't wait. I'm also going to point out this is a really awful loadout for Aga. I mean, at least we got boots and bow, but oh my god, fighter sword. No fire rod to help us. No nice items to help us, and there's no items here, so nothing else gonna help us. We're gonna have to do this all with. I mean, the bow is helpful, because we have a nice ranged weapon, but those red guards are just not fun.
And we're also going to get a good prediction going. Everyone's favorite for climbing the tower. How many blue balls?
Always 3.
There usually are 3. Sometimes there are 2. I like the prediction of 2 or 3 versus the field, but today we're just going to do 0 to 2 versus 3 and up.
That works. I do. No, we got at least. We'll see if Aster uses that. He's got at least 1 red potion. Don't usually need to use it around here for this, but you don't. Would be a huge time loss to die in Aga Tower.
Yeah, it's not fun to have to do this with a fighter sword. I mean, he's got enough arrows.
And Azure is an, accomplished NMG runner. But, NMG, you have Master Sword here. Okay, he's just going to use a boomerang to help him out there. Okay, the heart's in that. Which... Yeah, that's the glow of the heart. There is one more with a heart in there. It's on the left side there, but he figures 1 is enough. Or really at 2.5 hearts, going through what I call the stupid room in the room right after. It's stupid because it's got some really hard enemies that you don't actually have to kill, so I kind of find that stupid. But once you actually get to Aga itself, it's pretty easy to do this fight without taking damage. Not like Aga 2, where it's pretty easy to do that fight without taking a lot of damage, but, it's not unusual to take a little bit of damage. And then Moogle gonna full clear before he heads over to the Aga play. And he'll be much more confident that that's the right play, but the only question I'll have at this point once we get through this, assuming there's nothing on the pyramid ledge, which, could change things. Do you do catfish or do you go straight into pod?
So what are we at? 1 blue ball so far?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Pretty friendly, Aga 1. Yeah, that's 1. Wow, nice.
Wow, you don't see that every day. And just a piece of heart on the pyramid ledge. So that's not going to change anything. And Azure says, I'm going to go for the density.
Okay, we see our map check. 5-6 crystals in Eastern and Swamp. Sorry, Pod and Swamp. You know, the thing in that location.
Yeah.
I saw the green pendant in Mire, did not see where the blue pendant was.
Yeah, I missed most of that map check. You got a lot more of it than I did. Oh, Moogle's even going to go back to the fairy fountain.
Chat's telling us Thieves Town was the other pendant.
Ah. Ew. I hate pendant thieves.
It's always going to be either Pendant Thieves or Pendant Skull Woods. You're never going to be lucky enough to get both of them as, like, actual crystals that you
Yes,
need.
so true. Okay, Moogle finally resigned to the fact that he has to do Aga Tower, and is more than an Aga Tower behind here. So he's gonna have to do some catching up in other places. But we're really early. Lots of game to be played.
And Pod is not bow locked, not that we really care when we have the bow.
Yeah, one of the things I like about just going into pod here is because it's a crystal. I mean, even if you can't finish it, because, assuming we don't find the hammer here, you get to, you still have a bunch of items, and when you come back, you're going to have the big key, and you'll just be able to finish it easily then.
Yeah, Go Mode Pod is a relatively rare occurrence, so you're probably full clearing it anyway, so anything you do now is just, you're not doing it later.
Yep. And even if you do get Go Mode Pod, the odds that your big key is in a good place is even slimmer than, say, like Misery Mire.
Yeah.
So Moogle does have 1 extra heart container to work with on this climb, so that makes it a little bit more comfy. Not a lot, still the same loadout. Same really bad.
Well,
loadout.
that's why he has 3.5 hearts now, whereas Azure had 2.5.
That's right. Okay, we got 2 non-small keys, so Azure needs to death warp here. Oh, and remembers to let go of the fairy. Good job. I know I would have forgotten.
Good thing to remember.
Yeah, I would have forgotten, because I did forget that he had a fairy. But
and so now we know there's a small key in the vanilla big key chest,
exactly.
And we can just skip a key for a key.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like the bug net, is because fairies much more often screw up my death warps than they actually save my life.
Azure realizing he didn't bomb the way to the vanilla biggie just
hook shot. Okay,
that's progression.
That's good progression. That not only gets us over to West Dark World, but that also opens up East Death Mountain. There's the big key.
So that's clearly where the game wanted us to go.
Yep.
I mean, not that there were that many options.
I mean, your other option was one item at Catfish.
Right. I think you risk skipping Catfish now.
I expect Azure to risk skipping Catfish because I kind of know the way he plays. I don't know about Moogle. Saw Jewel Ninja in chat saying that his teammates should go catfish.
Oh, Tracy, you were mentioning the bug net. There it was.
Yeah, there it is.
So now he can get the ferry back.
Ooh, flippers!
Wow. So we've found half of our Swamp Palace equation here in...
Yep.
And what, are we missing the map and compass, and he determined that...
He menued, so yeah, I'm assuming we're missing map and compass. Also, I really like his choice to save and quit back to the mountain, because there's a whole lot of checks here that he can do. And if he finds hammer here, or even the other glove.
Yeah, that's right, Tracy. We got 5 actual trackable items out of pod, so it must be the map and compass.
They were all trackable. Oh my god.
Shield, Quake, Bugnet, Hookshot, and Flippers.
That's crazy. I remember a daily once that had 5 trackable items in the front of pod, in pod, and I think it was a boomerang on Helma, but all the other items were like just things you absolutely needed. I think that was a pendant pod though.
And hey, we're already over on East Death Mountain. So not surprisingly, Moogle's going into pod, and he'll find his way to buff up his tracker.
Yeah. Oh, see, look, I told you, there's a bit. And a hammer! Oh my god! Wow.
Okay, so that was our progression.
Wow. That's huge. I mean, so many people would just take that hook shot and just go, straight to West Dark World, because that's what you get a hook shot in pod after you did Aga. That feels like something that you do, and then it wouldn't be a bad play to do that at all. But oh my god, do this instead, and you just get everything.
And Moogle's map check confirmed that Thieves is our remaining pendant.
Now we can get an actual crystal. Also, hard required double dip of pod here.
Yeah. that hammer was very definitely locked by the hook shot. Unless you're one of those crazies who does that, like, fairy revive hover across the
we won't talk
bridge.
About that. I can't speak to Moogle, but Azure can barely hover to get across Moldorm too if it were necessary, so he can do it now, but definitely not something he'd want to rely on. For a moment there, I thought he was going to death warp there.
Yeah, he got hit a bit too much setting up, trying to set up the hook speed for...
nah, he doesn't do hook speed Harapot, to my knowledge, so I
No?
no.
Because the way he was kind of going up and down those steps getting hit, I thought he was doing it because he was trying to set up hook speed Harapot.
Yeah,
Moogle
typically... Yeah, I've only known he only really likes to do, and I'm kind of the same way. If I'm full clearing anyway, I don't worry about the time loss, and that was a nice, convenient piece of heart there. But I'm pretty certain he likes to do the bonk into a bomb strat.
You know, though, we're now on a 50-50. Moldorm has an item, or Moldorm has the map.
We sure are. We have the lamp to get the item in the basement, but that's such a slow check. We have seen a few races recently where that Hera basement location has mattered. I saw one race earlier today where that was the item, and another where it wasn't, and the time taken to check that location was very costly to the runner that checked it. But we don't have that issue here because we get another piece of heart on Moldorm, so... So interesting contrast in races earlier today.
Orange in chat, Moogle's teammate, is pointing out that if you could do the fairy hover revive, you didn't have to do Aga 1.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I think I've actually never seen it, but I know Andy did it once in, I want to say not this last term, but the one before, and I believe Obscure Lifeform also missed it, but I heard about it, pulled it off in the most recent tournament.
Yeah, that is true.
So sadly, I
yeah.
still haven't seen it actually done.
Right. I mean, maybe 4 people have done it in a competitive match.
And there, we just named 2 of them.
Yeah, I think Ninban did it like a couple years ago. Moogle also counting items in pods, so he knew when it was time to leave.
Yeah, I mean, not a huge deal because like you're gonna, it's not. If you could go to Helma, you just would, and it wouldn't matter. So you're only just checking the big chest, but also good to save that little bit of time.
And Moogle also making what we know to be the correct play and going for East Death Mountain rather than West Dark World.
Yep.
And takes a flying leap into the void.
I can't say that I haven't done that, so. This is probably part of the power of the fact that it's pendant Thieves Town. Like, pendant Thieves Town, and I don't have a hammer, I don't want to do that.
So it's nice to find the mushroom when you already have the powder. You know you can just turn in the mushroom, except that we don't have the flute, so getting over there is kind of annoying.
Okay, there's an ether medallion. But not a whole lot on Dark Death Mountain.
Well, it depends what the mushroom leads to.
That's true. I'm gonna find out the medallion, which is Quake, so we will be able to get in. Can't do anything, but we can go in. And we're gonna get a Spike Cave. Well, okay, don't use up too much of that magic before going into Spike Cave. But he should be fine. And gets the fairy. I never get that fairy.
Me neither. I don't, and I feel like most runners don't either, but some people just have the luck.
I guess so.
In any case, half magic plus cape make this totally in logic.
Yep. Yeah, almost a shame we have the powder, because one of the nice things that Spike Cave can do for you is if you want to do a fake powder, it'll waste your magic real quick. Okay, gonna get a hype cave check from Astro. Moogle gonna show us that spin speed. There it is. Yeah. Gonna replace the fairy that I assume he let go of.
Why not? And yes, I noticed when he was doing. Oh, and there's another fetch quest. Well, so we've got all our fetch quests now. But yeah, when he was doing right side of the front of pod, I noticed him release the fairy.
As just showing off that he patched the sprite ever so slightly to make it hat color Link instead of tunic color.
Wait, Ashter's not going to do the shovel? I guess we'll do it later,
like
and he's doing the mushroom now?
This looks like the mushroom.
I guess shovel can be combined with magic bat?
I mean, if you get a mirror, you can combine it with all the West Darkwold stuff, so...
That's also true.
Whereas, until you get a flute, there's no faster way to do this. And just 20 rupees. And we're gonna save and quit, because we don't have to, normally, if we didn't have the powder, you'd reset, but nope, don't need to do that. Just can leave those 20 rupees there. If you ever want to buy a potion, you get 20 rupees already for it. Where are we going now? Hobo? Yeah, that's where we're going. This is a play that Azure absolutely hates, so I'm a little surprised to see him doing it now, but
Well, at
maybe he
least it's
just
in
wants to.
logic.
It is in logic. Moogle's already checked this, so I believe it was just bombs, if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, Moogle's gonna get his mushroom. I think that was all we got. Over here was the mushroom. Oh, and we got ether in the hookshot cave, which, you know, may or may not be useful. Kind of hope it's not useful because we don't want to enter Misery Mire. I don't think either runner would be upset if Bombos never showed up and Misery Mire was Bombos. We'll get a King's Tomb check, and this might be into Village Outcast area. Yeah, we get a Master Sword. That's nice.
Definitely. You don't want to be sitting on that fighter sword for too long.
No, not at all. So still missing quite a bit. Missing what I like to call the Turtle Rock starter kit. We have the medallion, but we don't have the rest of it. Need a mirror for Swamp. We don't need a flute. Which is another
And on
reason
that
why to do the mushroom the way he did it, I think.
On that topic, since chat was discussing desert a bit, we've got a prediction going. How will we get into desert? We do need that mirror, so we could get the flute for desert access, or the book could show up.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll need one of those items. So I discounted the need for the flute a little bit too soon. If the book doesn't show up, then the flute would be required. We're gonna get the Skull Woods dip. Get an item right away in the front. No small key, so can't do the rest of the front. So Azure will go do the middle. And maybe he'll steal a key, we'll see. That's a play I often do. I don't know that he'll do it here, unless he gets an actual key in the chest here. Showing his NMG chops here. This is one of the rooms that my friend Apathy Duck likes to say is candidate for worst room in the game in Link to the Past.
Certainly drove me crazy as a kid. But hey, when you're good at it, when you know the patterns, you can even get that free elevator ride out.
Yeah, absolutely. Did that very well. I don't think... Did Moogle not do Spike Cave?
Yes, he did.
Okay, he did do it? Okay.
That's why his magic meter's at half.
Ah, yeah.
He has more hearts, so he was able to go further into it without using his magic meter.
That makes sense. Okay, one more chance to not have the other item in the back. And of course it's in the back. Azure just patiently waits for the hand to grab him.
Takes its sweet time there.
It is always so slow when you're waiting like that.
So Moogle's going to do Stumpy and Dig Game from here, and I guess he can go right up into Village of Outcasts since he has the mitts.
Yeah, he can do that. I would like this better if you had a mirror to check the other stuff here, but, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen the other, it's still fine. Nothing on Bumper Ledge. We'll see, and both will get into Thieves Town pretty similar times. Be interested to see if either one of them decides to do more than just the front 4. And of course, our other options, we have things like Mirrorless Smiths, which is never fun. I expect them both to do Hammer Pegs before going and committing to a Thieves Town full clear.
And without that mirror, you're not going to take back the smith right now.
No.
And likewise, you put off hammer pegs until you're ready to do smith chain.
I don't know. I could see doing hammer pegs now. Like, it doesn't... Especially with boots, you can whip through it pretty quickly.
Well, so far neither of our runners have been so inclined.
Now, I feel like Azur's going to do this kind of... He's going to do Stumpy into Dig Game, and then this may indicate that he is going to grab the Smith, just because you can't take a follower to Dig Game. So, important that if you want to do the Dig Game and you want to do the Smith, you do the Dig Game first.
Though you can take the smith into dungeons.
Yes, you can. It's more fun in cross keys, though.
However, if you take the smith into a dungeon and actually grab the crystal or pendant at the end, the smith goes poof.
Yeah, which is why it's more fun in cross keys, where it only goes poof. I believe only goes poof with the crystal. Azure doesn't even want that heart.
I mean, he's on blue mail. Ooh!
Fire Rod.
So, front of pendant thieves is definitely required.
Yep. Azure's not going to get to it right now.
But that means Moogle can also do Skull Woods as a single trip now.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what the Smith has. Just a piece of heart.
So a bit of a bust, but we are finally seeing Magic Bat. And Bumper Ledge, just some more arrows.
Yeah, we saw that already.
Oh, okay, I missed Ashter going there.
Just bombs on the bat.
So we need Mirror, Cane, Ice Rod, and some way to access Desert.
Yep. Okay, hopefully Azure's gonna head back into the Dark World, which probably means do at least front four of Thieves Town, and then Hammer Pigs and Purple Chest would be my guess. Yes, you have myths, you can go the short way.
I just realized that Fire Rod, besides being needed for Skullwoods and Turtle Rock, also makes Ice Palace full clearable.
It does. We'll see Azure get his Fire Rod now. We'll see what he does with it.
So let's see how Moogle routes this. Good. I was hoping he'd go straight for the back. I mean, we know there's an item there. It's going to save him a lot of time in the front.
Yep. Yeah, Chad asked if Azure's going to go do the back. I agree with the no way. But we'll see. It's not like he's never surprised me before.
Yeah, it's a pendant dungeon, and you've already found progression in the front.
Yeah. Question is, does he go straight back to Skullwoods first and then do these other checks, or does he go do these other checks? Because it feels like he was planning on doing Hammer Pigs and maybe the Purple Chest, but now he's got a Fire Rod that lets him clear a dungeon And not just clear a dungeon, he can clear a dungeon that has an item in the back that he knows is there.
And Moogle is so intent on the hammer moth fight that he doesn't even grab a little bit of magic before falling in.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the Master Sword yet. Hasn't gone over to King's Tomb. He should still have the red potion too, so. And a fairy that he grabbed after letting the other one go.
Yeah, that was a nice hammer moth kill for all that. So our second item is going to be in Bridge Chest.
Or in the big chest.
Oh, right.
We just got a big key.
But you're here in the back, you do Bridge Chest first. And
you should.
Right, and given that we know there's an item in Map Chest, this is going to work out really nicely. Because regardless, he won't have to do most of the front.
Oh, nice. That'll be tempered for Azure. And Moogle will probably like, where was that before I fought Moth? Well, it was in King's Tomb.
Well, if he does King's Tomb now...
The other thing that Tempered Sword does is makes Ice Palace much nicer. Except the fact that we don't have a Cane of Samaria. And in fact, Moogle's gonna find that Tempered Sword right now.
So I don't know, Ice Palace is looking kind of tempting, except that you like to be able to do Icebreaker, but Samaria could be in Ice Palace.
It could be. Like, you're not going to do pod anytime soon. Oh, he's going to turn it... Actually, this is a really good time to turn in the mushroom if you're not going to want to do the fake flipper. There's some overworld checks. Let's see. Can't do Turtle Rock yet. Can't do... Could finish pod, but, like, you're not going to finish pod. Okay, as your saves and quits, let's see where he goes next. This could be the ice play, starting from Link's house. They're both starting from Link's house. Let's see. Could be Ice Palace for both of them. Yeah, it would seem. So it looks like we're not going to see any icebreakers today, unless Kane is in the very first chest.
Nice how they're syncing up after all this divergence. And I have seen Kane in Compass Chest in Ice Palace.
It won't be in... It'll be like an iced tea if it's here. It's nice to at least have the hook shot. Like, to me, there's nothing worse than having to consider doing Ice Palace if you don't have at least the hook shot. And that small key is nice, too.
Well, with the hook shot, you don't need to worry about logic.
No, but even so, that small key will save them a little bit of time to get back over to the right side.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that, you know, that's one nice thing about having the hook shot.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That all that factors in is that if Cold Stare has a small key, then the game was expecting us to have Samaria, but because there's nothing Cold Stare could lock besides GT, and we know Samaria isn't in GT anyway, that's not really much information.
Yep. More interesting if this is a green pendant or a red crystal dungeon. Both runners showing they still know how to do that Ice Palace bomb jump, even though it's been rendered very, I wouldn't say completely obsolete, because we're doing it right now, but definitely at least somewhat obsolete with Icebreaker.
But you also realize looking at this and seeing the amount of time between the first chest and the second chest, how much time Icebreaker saves.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Have we even gotten an item yet?
Oh, and Ashter's gotten out of the habit of pulling the tongue.
Yeah, we all have, I think.
Well,
Okay,
I
Moogle
remember
has.
when Icebreaker first became legal, runners would pull the tongue even when they didn't have to because
Yeah,
they were
oh,
in the
sure.
habit.
Vanilla Big Key.
Yeah, so we've gotten all our keys and nothing else, and Moogle does an inadvertent pirouette.
Hey, we got money that we don't need. I mean, they already have plenty of money to buy whatever potions they might want to buy, and I don't know that either one of these two. If Azur's going to buy a potion, is usually right before Ice Palace when you don't have half magic. We're in Ice Palace, so not a thing. I don't know about Moogle, but he was at the potion shop much more recently. Oh, Azure gonna have to do iced tea the long way if he wants to do it.
Between Big Chest Iced Tea and Cold Stare, 2 items.
And
Okay,
one's on iced tea.
Yeah, Iced Tea and Cold Stare it is. Moogle gets the bomb jump, so we'll see how much time. This will be a good, lesson in how much time does this bomb jump save. We'll see how much he winds up ahead of Ashter, if at all.
Yeah, that really wasn't worth it. I mean, at least it's got blue in it. Like this,
It's color coordinated.
Yeah, it's the most useful potion you can get, but.
Because now Moogle does have to go back.
Still needs to open the big chest.
Right, whereas Ashter can go straight to the boss.
So, gonna be getting there at about the same time.
But yeah,
yeah, it's a lot less than I would have. Yeah, that was a lot less than I would have expected, to be honest.
But it was enough to go from Moogle slightly behind to Moogle slightly ahead.
Yep.
Regarding chat, I'm not sure I'd say Moogle's route was better so much as Moogle made the bomb jump and Ashter didn't. They were both trying for the same route.
Yeah, exactly.
But
in the end, they...
Oh!
Of course.
That's progression.
It is indeed. So are we going into Swamp next? Yeah, I think we're going into Swamp next.
We can full clear it.
Azure, however, remembering to mirror before saving and quitting. Right. Moogle just says, whatever, I'll just go to the Dark World, it's fine. Oh, in fact, it's gonna go finish Pod.
I wonder if he's...
I don't understand this play. Like, you can go finish a Pod anytime you want. You know there's not an item.
I'm wondering, given his early Eastern play, if he's gonna double down and finish Eastern.
I mean, he couldn't he? I mean, I was about to say that he couldn't. He didn't have the bow when he went to Eastern the first time.
Right. So this could be some sort of double down.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't understand going back into Pod. Like, he knows that there's nothing on Helmasaur. He also checked his menu and skipped the big chest.
And K45's just money.
Oh, hey, we can check the dig spot finally. I love that we wait for the mirror to check the dig spot.
Well, you were saying that earlier, that it's so much easier to route in.
I did.
And our
But I
fetch
kind of.
quests are a big offer today.
Yep. I see chat talking about the PED possibility. At this point, it would have to be the ice rod. Ice rod, of course, can always be on PED if Turtle Rock's a crystal. It won't be the cane because of Misery Mire. Won't be the flute for desert access because Misery Mire. I guess it could be the book with flute and GT. Like that would be such an edge case.
No, because you'd still need to do Mire to get the ped.
And if you had access to Mire, you could go do desert. So good call. We know the TR is Quake, so Bombo's TR will not be an
we
issue.
were talking about inadvertent mirrors and quick swap. I think Moogle just did that.
Moogle, please. Something I guarantee you will never happen to Asher unless he finally succumbs to the quick swap. Now, the more interesting question is, does Azure go back in for left side now? He doesn't really do the bomb diver down. So you're probably not going to see a diver down in this unless we see a cane early. And even for the left side with the cane, because he does the speedrunner version, which is done on the left side when you go to the back and not the right side, and the strat's slightly different. He typically isn't going to use it for going left side first. So if he does do left side, I expect him to do it after. So the question is, does he come back in for it?
Okay, Moogle Charm's just using the cape, but now he's flipped to mirror again, and now he's very carefully getting off the mirror.
He keeps ending up back on it. Moogle, come on.
No, why are you on mirror?
Oh my god. I've ever
Is
seen
Moogle having
that
some
before.
controller issues?
Oh, I hope not.
It looks like he might be. I mean, look at how he's having trouble moving around. I hope it's not a controller problem. Oh, he ran in while on cape, is chat saying, and now he's locked into run.
Oh no. I don't think I've ever actually seen this glitch in action.
And now he's taking a death. He does have that fairy. I don't know if the fairy breaks the run lock.
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we?
It does break the run lock. That's good to know.
Meantime, have we seen anything?
This definitely cost Moogle some time. Asger's already on Argus.
Yeah, I don't think have we gotten anything in Swamp Palace. I've been too busy watching these the weird stuff going on Moogle's side.
It's probably all on left side.
Okay, chat saying nothing in Swamp yet. And a map on Argus means, don't know if we got the compass, but it does mean items on left side. And we'll see if, like, I know Azur's not a huge fan of left side, but we're kind of running out of locations at this point. He might go back in. We'll see in just a second. Nope.
So what's Azure got left?
I don't think he ever goes into Eastern. He does have that. Looks like he's going to do a Gina right now. Because this is as close as he's going to get without reason to go to Desert. He's got Hammer Pegs and Purple Chest, which I think he was intending to do earlier before he got Fire Rod. Back of Thieves Town. So this one, I think the only checks that Moogle has over Azure is the Eastern Palace. And he didn't even go back in, so... I still don't understand the pod before Swamp play. Now, we also have Graveyard Ledge and Catfish. Neither one is done. We might get a couple of those right now, because it looks like Azure's heading over to the Dark World through the castle. Although maybe he goes and finishes pod now. It's also possible the whole reason why Moogle went to do pod when he did is just because he didn't mirror before this Haven quit. I'm gonna try to pay a little bit better attention here to see if we can figure out how many items are left in Swamp. On the other hand, Moogle might just go and do left side first, which has become sort of the meta. I'm not a huge fan of that meta because, as I always like to say, left side Swamp got faster with Diver Down, but it's still not fast.
Yeah, Swamp's just never going to be fast.
Unless you're in go mode, which, you know.
Even then, you still have to go do that whole switch thing where Moogle is now, and of course, getting into Swamp is a pain no matter what.
Yep. Well, except in Cross Keys. At least once you've done the dam, wherever that decides to show up. But yeah, I expect Azure to gain some time here, because I don't think he's going to have... He's certainly not going to quick swap to Mirror by accident. Okay, Moogle also going to go left side first. It may be that it's just one item, because a lot of runners, myself included, will never go left side first if you don't get a dungeon item before heading back. And there's that compass, so it is 2 items. But I don't think we've seen the big key either.
Yeah, so probably, well, either the big key's locked in the big chest or it's on the left side, and then there'll be an item in the big chest.
Which makes it less favorable to go in, because it's really slow, and the big key being there means you have to go get it and then go to the big chest.
And... oh, right, because Azure did some extra checks, right? That's why they're now matching boss fights again. I was like, Azure must have gained more time than this from Moogle's problems in Pod Basement, but yeah, he did some extra checks in that game.
He also did the shovel. He also did K45. Checks I would expect Moogle to do, whether he goes back into Swamp first and then does them, or if he does them afterwards. I don't know.
And we're really running out of locations for Samaria.
Yes, we are.
I mean, the evil location would be Back of Thieves. No one wants to go back in there.
No. Oh, okay. Azure's proven me wrong. He's going into Eastern. I did not expect him to go ever touch this.
And
Moogle in the
going
meantime,
for Left Side Swamp.
This is going to be a big moment if there's something here.
I think one of these runners is going to find something. The question is which one.
Oh, I don't think there's anything left in Eastern, so if someone's going to find something, it's going to be Left Side Swamp. I really don't like the Eastern play here, because you didn't do it before Aga, and that was your advantage, that you didn't do it before Aga, so I would double down on not doing it after Aga. Yeah, saying it's a God Eastern, so he won't be here very long. It's fair enough. Well, he'll be out of Eastern before Moogle finishes up left side, and of course we'll see if there's anything here. Except that, is he gonna finish Eastern?
Wasn't that 3 items?
That was 3 items. As your menu, please.
Yeah, the only thing finishing Eastern accomplishes then is if
for
Ice Rod's
pad.
on pad.
But even if that was the case, you don't check the big key chest because it's a map or compass, and then because you just go to the back.
Right.
So I'm confused.
So he's not counting.
He's not counting. He's not checking his. He's not checking his menu.
Meanwhile,
hopefully he checks his menu after he gets this. Please check your menu, Azure. Please check your menu. Like, Ped's not even in logic. There's no reason to do this.
Yeah, he did such a good job counting in pod.
Well, he checked his menu in pod. He checked his menu just now. What are you doing?
Yes, he just brought down his menu he should have seen.
He should have been. He wasn't looking. And left side swamp is a sword, because there's always a sword in swamp, so why not? We should have known that was what would be there, you know? I mean, it's swamp. It's got a sword in it.
Oh, look where Moogle's going. Big bomb.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even think about that.
So that was probably why he did pod before swamp, so that he could then do this.
I like this a lot better than the Eastern play here. That's just going to be kicking himself when he sees that this is the other of map or compass. Unless Ice Rod's on pad.
We've beaten Aga, so we can even take the route the game intends us to take.
Yeah, maybe the route the game intends us to take, but I wonder how many of us actually took this route when playing this the first time.
It took me several playthroughs to find it. I'm pretty sure I figured that out as a kid, but I'm also pretty sure I didn't figure it out my first time.
Another bottle and 20 rupees. Not Pyramid Fairy, and this might be Azure's play as well.
But hey, we have bottle percent.
Is that all of them? That is all of them.
Oh, this is the catfish play.
Yeah, like you could route Pyramid Fairy to Catfish to Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, guess Graveyard Ledge first.
Or just Graveyard Ledge, I mean.
What do we have left? There's like purple chest. I don't think either of them have showed us hammer pegs, have they? And there's Captain. Oh, there's our desert access. That resolves that prediction.
And Moogle gonna take this over to Catfish. see what order Azure decides to do things in, which I suspect he will do one or both of these checks. The book would also let us know if Ice Rod's on ped. I doubt either of them is going to check it. Because we've already done Skull Woods. It's not Catfish, though.
And now Moogle never actually did that waterfall cave check. I wonder if he forgot at this point.
No, he did it. He did it before Aga.
Oh, did he in the end? I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay, so where's Moogle?
This is unfortunate that Azure's mirroring here, because he needs to get to that book. He may have
Moogle's
other
gonna
plans.
go to desert.
Don't know where he's going starting from Link's house, though.
Honestly, given Moogle's routing, I probably would have...
No, for Moogle, he's going to desert, and that's pretty obvious.
No, I'm just saying I probably would have gone to Dark World and checked Bombo's tablet on my way to desert.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I like that. Azure, on the other hand, I don't understand... I don't know where he's going, because he's done all these checks. And he didn't get... Oh, no. Is he going into the left side? No, don't do this. It's the second time he's... This is so not like him to go and do
I know.
these
He usually
plays.
has much better routing than this.
He usually, once he passes on a place like this, he just isn't going to go back to it. So I'm really surprised that he's going back into left side swamp.
But chat's excited that he'll be getting his butter sword.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got our desert big and small. And Moogle is doing right side first.
I would in the middle. It's kind of weird to do right side before the middle.
Yeah, Well, it's a bit weird that he's doing this before big chest. Because now he mirrors back to the center and still has to get up from the center. Yeah, so if Moogle had gone here first, he could have saved himself, the race to the cannonball room.
Yeah.
But this is going to be our 6th crystal, and then we have to hunt for the Cave of Samaria. And what do we have besides the back of Thieves' Town at this point? Purple chest.
Purple chest.
Right.
Hammer pigs and purple chest.
Oh yeah, and Bombos and Ether, right? Because we have the book now.
We got our tablets. We're not finding flute. Well, okay. We hope we don't find flute. But we also need an ice rod. Let's not forget. The ice rod's still a thing.
Yeah, but the ice rod could well be in Turtle Rock. It frequently is.
Sure could, yeah, it sure could be.
And we found 2 items in Thieves, is that right?
I believe that's right.
So that's crystal number 6.
Well, we got our butter sword. It'll match his armor.
That is a very golden armor.
Okay, Azure looks like he maybe is betting on Hammerpig's purple chest. So he grabbed the smith. Moogle hasn't done the smith yet, so he has to do all of it. Now it'll be a lot faster because he's got mirror.
Yeah. But unless the flute shows up, Azure's gonna need to go to Graveyard Ledge and get that book.
He is indeed. Which, you know, shortly will be his last decent location. I mean, there's still Back of Thieves, like you say. Oh, there's a Cane of Samaria.
Ah, so if we had just done hammer pegs earlier.
Yep. Well, remember how I said I like doing hammer pegs as a one-off without the smiths? Oh, I think we're going to get a Turtle Rock play from Azure, because he is not continuing on with either Purple Chest or... that's not going to get... if it gets some Flute and Ice Rod, I mean...
Right. Azure basically needs Flute to be up here and Ice Rod not to be up here.
Yes.
That is something that would both get him into desert and make it so that Moogle can't simply climb the mountain and finish the game.
Right, exactly. And at this point, an Ice Rod on Ped would probably be really good for Azure, because he's going to full clear Turtle Rock. If he got a Flute, that would open up Ped as a possibility. And then he probably just goes for it, because he's already done Eastern.
But Turtle Rock is certainly the densest set of checks remaining. Ooh, and Moogle is not doing Purple Chest.
Yeah, I actually didn't much... I don't know if I liked it for either one, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's quick enough.
I mean, without the Flute, it's a little bit slower. But, I mean, save and quit. You know, start at Link's house, walk it to the locksmith guy.
Well, you can also use the invisible chest glitch.
Yeah, I'd love to know if somebody's ever timed to see which is faster when you don't have Flute. Obviously, if you're going to pick up items on the way, it's definitely faster to...
Chad also reminding us that he could have combined Purple Chest and Bombo's tablet.
Oh yeah, that's still a thing. That'd be another bad spot for Ice Rod for Azure, because he's not checking any of those anytime soon. In fact, that would have been a really good check for Moogle. Oh, there it is. Well, that's going to be go mode for Moogle real soon, and Azure's nowhere close to getting into desert.
Yeah, so that's pretty much GG's. Unless, like, Flute shows up here, but even then, Azure has to go down the mountain, activate it, do desert, come back up the mountain. And Moogle's gonna be in go mode in about a minute or two. Oh, and he's even doing right side first. Not that it matters, he's still gotta be opening every chest until he finds the big key.
That's go mode for Moogle Charm.
Right. And I should say he also needs, enough small keys in addition to...
It's not Key Sandy, so...
Right, I'm just saying, even though he's in go mode, he still needs to go back here to Compass Chest.
He'll be able to do things... But he'll be able to do things like skip. He'll be able to do the steal the Pokey Key. Azure's going to have to check this chest.
Yeah.
I mean, he could still run into Flute here, but it's not going to be enough, because he's got to go all the way back to desert, do desert, and then come all the way back up the mountain. And of course, it's key for a key. Which is interesting because, I mean, it's not going to make a difference, but it's interesting because that just makes it more likely that could be the less than 5% that there's a small key exactly in that chest and in the big chest.
Yeah, and then if you skip the big chest, you're going to have to double back a ways from Laser Bridge.
Yep.
Oh, nope, it is not that 3% or 2.5% or whatever you
Yeah,
want
whatever it
to
is.
call the
Yeah.
odds.
Would have made things a little bit interesting, but it wasn't going to make a difference in the overall scheme of things.
Oh yeah, chat pointing out that Asher skipped Mimic Cave.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that could have been Flute. We'll never know.
You're one item from Go Mode and you're skipping Mimic Cave?
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one. To answer the question in chat, no, Flute cannot be in Mire. This is completable. All the seeds are guaranteed to have items, all acceptable, with the exceptions of things like you could have Swamp Big Key and Big Chest. You could have the Harris Small Key can lock itself in the basement, that kind of thing. But as far as actual items, they're all going to be available. So the Flute, for instance, won't be in Mire. You won't see Boots on the Desert Torch, which would be evil anyway. There is a mode called Beatable where those things can happen, and yeah, I had a fun Beatable only seed where neither Boots nor Hookshot showed up in a mystery seed. So shout outs to Beatable only.
And Asher's going to take down Trinex and have to move on to somewhere else.
Yep. Which at this point is Thieves Town, is Graveyard Ledge, is Purple Chest. I think that's it. Also, see if he uses... No, don't use... Yeah, you have a red. You got the free magic refill, just use the red. We're gonna get simultaneous Trinex fights, though.
Yeah, Asher doing a nice job with the 0 cycle, Moogle coming from the front. So he'll get a 1 cycle. And we'll do a GT Big Key prediction that we haven't done in a bit, and get your numbers in chat 1 to 22 if you want to guess a specific number. But is it going to be on the left side, or is it going to be on either the right side or in the back? You got a preference, Tracy?
Now, let's see. My number is always 5, so if...
That's
Not sure what kind of router Moogle is, so let's just say on the left side.
yeah. I was going to say
Let's see if he does Dark Magician.
That's either Compass Room or Stalfos Room.
Yep. Actually, that covers more Stalfos Room more, because the most common routes are Dark Magician, Hope to left, and Hope I get a small key, I'm going right.
Right. And only in that last one is it in Compass Room. In all other cases, it's in Stalfos Room.
Yeah, exactly. So looks like Moogle's gonna do Dark Magician, or a variety of the Dark Magician, because I have been told several times that the actual Dark Magician involves going full right after this, but nobody does that. So unless they're like one of my friends who likes to do the Hope right, and ends up forgetting that they don't have a mirror. But we have a mirror, so it's not going to be... Oh, hey, there's Bombos. Oh, hey, there's Silvers.
Well, hard not to get silvers unless there is a small key in Hope Room and the big key is in Compass Room or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there is a small key in Hope Room.
Yeah, there sure is. Of course, the other reason to say left is because we don't want tile room. Okay, so now is the fluid in Thieves Town? That might be a better question. Oh, there's the flute. Okay, so now we know that Azure has to get over to Graveyard Ledge. The good news is they'll keep him out of Mire. After this, he'll have Purple Chest and Graveyard Ledge left as possibilities.
And now we also know that there is basically no way that anyone playing this seed would finish it without silvers.
Yeah. I mean, you could skip Stalfos Room.
I mean, I suppose you could just go flat out full right and maybe the big key's behind Ice Armos. Maybe it's in Tile Room and you gamble Tile Room because you're crazy. There's some very non-standard modes of play where you don't get silvers, but in most of the common metas you would.
Yeah, absolutely. So after this,
oh, go ahead.
Azure, yeah, I was gonna say, does Azure do Graveyard Ledge for Go mode, or does he do Purple Chest? In the meantime,
I was about to say, hopefully he goes to Graveyard Ledge after this.
I mean, those are your choices, and unfortunately, they're like on opposite sides of the world. Okay, Rando Room, anybody? I know Koi's taken to doing the Rando Rush. He was talking about that earlier today. But would Rando Rush have gotten us a quick big key? Oh, hey, there are the boots. No, the Rando Rush doesn't do it. Looks like we are it's either Tile Room or right in front of or right behind Ice Armos. And unfortunately, the answer is Purple Chest.
Hey, we'll finally find out what was in it.
It's gonna be drag the Purple Chest to Graveyard Ledge. Which is a decent play, except you can't run. Okay. We got location right before Stalfos. Nope. Okay, we got 3 locations right after Stalfos to hopefully avoid.
You mean Armos?
Did I? Yes, I mean Armos.
It took me a moment to figure out what you were talking about.
Oh my god.
It's late.
I thought you were the one that was on jet lag.
I am. That's why I was. And there we go. Number 20.
Number 20.
French vanilla.
We're never gonna find out the Purple Chest. Oh well. At this point, what could it have been? Cane of Burna? I mean, we pretty much got everything else we could possibly want. Including all 4 bottles, half magic, cape, powder for a nice refill at the top of GT.
And it looks like no one actually guessed 20. Our closest was Elmo65 with a guess of 21.
Okay, now we get to go through all the same rooms. Moogle doing a nice job so far.
Well, you know what they say. The only things that are certain in life are death, taxes, and the GT gauntlet.
And there's no mystery week this year, so we're not gonna have any of those fast Ganons.
Right, though I guess there's cross keys week, and you don't do GT
Yeah,
generating
yeah,
cross
that's true.
keys.
Well, you do much more than you'd like to think.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, behind GT is well, so you're gonna do 4 items at the top of GT, 5 items in the well, so you climb. Oh yeah, nothing there. Thanks, game. Definitely had that happen in more than my share of cross keys versus cross key seeds.
And as Astor lights those torches, Moogle is lighting torch room 1.
Also, I mean, not that it's a big deal, but I'm a big fan of using the lamp for that and then switching to the fire rod for the last one, save your magic. I've been told that for NMG, and you know, those of you that are maybe more expert in NMG can correct me if I'm wrong, but it used to be that in NMG they're like, well, we don't want to save the menu, so let's use the fire rod. But it turned out it was actually faster to use the lamp and switch because you didn't have to pick up the magic refill. Yeah, Moogle hitting that switch by accident because there's no reason to check these chests. Now, last night, Jewel Ninja made a liar out of me because apparently he really likes to have Mirror Shield. Moogle apparently doesn't care about a Mirror Shield and is not checking anything.
Not even Moldorm's final possession.
Yeah, shoutouts to skipping that one. That's the one I always forget to skip.
I think that was only a double.
Yeah, always hard to tell with those. That one may have been a double. I couldn't. So twice I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
Oh,
2
one
1
of those
1 2.
Yeah, there was a double in there somewhere. Looks like it was that last one.
Well, we're getting a delicious whole grain breakfast created for our incredible insides. Gotta have a nice full stomach to fight Ganon.
Making good use of that cape.
What do you know? Got a 1-on-1 on the gold sword.
You know, people often poo-poo the difference between gold sword and tempered, but it is a little bit easier to get that 1-on-1 on the gold sword, and for those of us who are bad, it actually makes a difference. As you're starting with Tower Room, this doesn't surprise me at all, because he definitely knows he's behind. He figures this is one out. He doesn't realize that this is not an out for him.
Maybe he'll go full right, though.
He might.
Probably not.
No, he might. It wouldn't put it past him. He has a somewhat non-standard big key routing method, and will weigh what keys are where a little bit more than I think most people do. But yeah, it's still not going to be enough. As Moogle's going to finish this off pretty quickly. We don't care about Torch Glitch because we got those silvers, and Moogle finishing off Ganon.
Get your GGs in chat.
Gonna have an official race time of... Okay, 1:35.14.
Let's see if we can't get Moogle in here for an interview as Ashter goes through GT Basement here. You were right, Tracy, that he is doing full right. He'll get the big key.
He won't get his silvers.
Oh, well, right. We were talking about all these crazy routings you can do and not get silvers.
Yep.
Me and my big mouth.
From his perspective, I like that play, but like it was just way too late. And it's entirely possible that he has a tendency not to keep an eye on the race time chat, so he might not even at this point know that he is already lost.
So there's the big key for Ashter.
And he keeps checking because, silvers.
We got Moogle Charm in the waiting room.
There he is.
GG.
GG's.
Hey, GG's.
So, would you like to talk about Pod?
Yeah, that was brutal, right? I gotta apologize.
Oh my God.
Terrible execution for that whole seed.
We learned something though.
The Cape glitch, yeah, me too.
Yeah. Did not know that the fairy revive there was going to save you.
Me neither. I'm glad I grabbed it. I grabbed it because if I remember, I was gonna do Spike Cave, and then I had half magic, and I was like, oh wait, I don't need it. Yeah, so Pod was a terrible adventure. It felt like I was routing pretty well, and as soon as I got that mirror, it was like, okay, so this is working out. Like the Kane's gonna be behind Swamp from Pyramid Fairy or something. Let's go do Pod. Just knock that out, and that was a complete disaster. I was gonna switch to Cape so I could just go right through the turtles, and then went one too far and ended up mirroring, and then did the Cape glitch and was like, what is going on? So I paused, switched my controller, and was having the same issue, and I'm like, what the heck? And yeah, ended up dying, and then after the fairy revive, I was okay, and it was like, all right, I must have just messed something up within the game, and it wasn't my controller, because like I said, my execution was terrible. I was like just playing like garbage the entire seat. I felt like so I assumed it was the controller, so that's why I paused and put it in. That
was my first thought, and
yeah,
then,
we thought about that.
Chat realized it was that you were locked into a running state.
Yeah, so now I know not to do that ever again. Because I had heard of it in Turtle Rock, but that's like a different kind of activation. It's like when I might not have this correct, but I thought it happened like when your magic runs out as you're cape activated and you're dashing out of that double roller room. But
I think it's any time. Yeah, I think it's any time you go through a door. Period.
Yeah, so now I know never to do that. Yeah. But like I said, I think routing wise, yeah, obviously going to the mountain right after that first pod dip paid off huge. I was able to knock out the entire mountain, with the exception of TR.
Yeah, you both did that, which really worked out well for both of you.
Okay.
The big routing difference for you that gave you the edge was getting that book and being able to hit desert. Azure went to Catfish, but did not follow up with Graveyard Ledge, whereas you did Graveyard Ledge and then hit Catfish, and of course Catfish was nothing.
Yeah. I
Oh,
was
there's
still
Gamer.
missing a couple things, so I went over to Catfish just to make sure I didn't isolate it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the big difference in the end.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, you got the mirror so late. Graveyard Ledge is pretty orphaned. It's it's
Yeah, that's why I felt like
didn't
it
do it
kind of
then,
worked out.
yeah.
Yeah, with the Pyramid Fairy, you can easily loop in the Graveyard Ledge Catfish.
Mhm.
I mean, it is a little out of the way, but like that's literally the best time to do it if you didn't do it with Skull Woods or anything like that. So,
Mhm.
and after that, all I really had left was like outside of going to the back of Thieves Town, the entire like Smith Chain sequence with K45 and stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, it wasn't. It's like if I don't do this now, I'm not doing it ever.
Fair enough. Yeah, we never did get to see Purple Chest. Back at Thieves was nothing, as you might have suspected, since you basically full cleared GT basement, except big chest and tile room.
Yep.
Well, I guess you didn't check any of the upper GT, but at that point there was literally nothing to look for, unless you were a certain teammate of yours and really wanted Mirror Shield.
At that point, I felt so terrible about my play. It was like I need to, and Asder has great execution, so I'm like I gotta do this as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Speaking of Astor, he is now on Ganon, though he will have to do the 12 spins.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, his silverless fights are as fast as anyone's, so it won't lose him as much time as it might for some. But yeah, I mean, it's still, I don't care how good you are, it's silverless. It's faster to have silvers.
He just did full right.
Yeah.
You Tyler him into full right. I mean, you gotta understand, he full cleared everything. The only thing he didn't get was Purple Chest. And he was dragging the Purple Chest to Graveyard Ledge when he got his what turned out to be a Go Mode book. So he's the type of player that's gonna gamble Tile Room in that situation. But by the time he was in Tile Room, about when you were in Ganon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
And of course, he gets the 1 in 4 chance of Ganon not warping, and thus does not get the free spin, and also misses Torch Glitch where it actually matters. With half magic's not too big a deal, especially with a blue potion sitting in his pocket if he needs it. So, just kind of suck. But yeah, that puts you guys undefeated in what pretty tough division. How you feeling?
Pretty good. We were not expecting this for sure. We were, looking at the schedule. Obviously there's no like easy teams, but we were immediately scared of like that week 2 matchup. It felt pretty good after week 1, getting a 2-0, and then looking at Fry and Matt and Demo was like, oh, okay, let's try and get 1-1, and then like coming into this week, it's like, oh my god, again, so it's just this feels like this murderer's row of just great runners. So to get out of the 3rd week 6-0 and go into next week's spoiler mode, which I'm pretty good at. So feeling pretty good going into next week.
Do you know who you're playing next week? I mean, I could look it up, but if you know, I don't
Skull
have
Kids.
I was gonna say,
I wanted to ask about that because they're the
match.
other undefeated team in your division.
Well, somebody won't be undefeated after next week.
And some guy Gamachu was trash talking your team in chat too.
That's fine. I didn't do myself any favors with how I executed the seed, so but it's okay. We'll get him next week. I'll make sure I outroute fear, and we'll see what happens.
Now, are you playing and/or piloting next week?
I'm only piloting.
Okay.
And GG's to Astor, by the way, who finishes up at 144.25.
So yeah, if you're only piloting, are you piloting both games then?
Yep.
Cool.
So Orange will run one and Jewel will run the other. So it'll be fun. Gamma and I ended up winning the spoiler tourney, so it's a fun little experiment. See who comes out on top. Who was more important during that tournament? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that is okay. Drossi, tell me this wasn't on purpose that these two are matching up this week.
It wasn't. It was a total random draw who got which weeks.
But man, it's funny that ended up happening for week 4 for you guys.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And let's see if we can't get Ashter in here as well.
Meantime, while you're checking, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the schedule and see what we got coming up. I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Wow, only two matches tomorrow. I think last Thursday, I think you had like the busiest day on a weekday I think I've ever seen. But tomorrow, just 2 matches, so we'll shout those out. 3 o'clock, there's Pug Trio versus Triple Dino Disaster. That'll be Solsky versus Top Life. At 8 o'clock, we got 2 Pearl, 2 Furious versus Go. That'll be Trinex versus Scoople. A couple of interesting matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess
just looking through here. Trying to keep track of everything we've lined up. We're getting more and more open matches restreamed now.
Oh, we're gonna see if what's going on over on the open side of things. I confess, I sometimes forget about them. I don't see a lot of open races on the schedule though tomorrow. I do think there's a qual tomorrow, so that's always fun. Okay, I'm gonna assume that Azur's not gonna join us. He usually would have come in by now if that was gonna be the case.
Well, it's late, and that was a long and disappointing run for him.
Yeah. And I appreciate if people just don't want. It's easy to come in and extol how things and even joke about bad execution when you win, but when you lose, it's harder. So I'd never blame anybody for not wanting to come in if they've just lost. But I'll throw it back to you, Moogle. You got anything else you want to add before we call it a day?
Just thanks for putting us on the restream. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Tracy and Drossi for comms, and Lady Laura Linda for the for tracking. Really appreciate it.
All right, thank you, and GG's again. Good luck next week.
GG's. Thank you.
Yeah, and Mogliacci are now the second Invitational League team to compile a 6-0 record after the Titans met. So that's a pretty good accomplishment to have.
Now let's see if who's the other person playing for Skullkids?
It's going to be Shireen versus Wall Kicks on Sunday.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Let's see if Shireen can make it a 6-0 v 6-0 matchup next week. But Wall Kicks is a tough opponent, having just come off the Cross Keys finalist and winning the Retrance tournament.
Well, I don't know if Wall Kicks knows what to do when the entrances are vanilla.
That is a good point. He'll have a chance to show us on Sunday, I guess.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
All right. But yeah, pretty much going to do it for us. I also want to echo Moogle Charm, at least in the sense of Drossi. Thank you for joining me. I always love commentating with you. And Lady Laura Linda on the tracking. I like to call them the MVPs because they are the most important ones. They do the hard work. And it's cool that we get to see them on the screen now. So not quite as unsung as they used to be, but I will always sing their praises, so I don't like to call them unsung. And of course, thank you to all of you in chat. Thank you to our runners, Azure and Mooglecharm, and everybody behind the scenes over at SpeedGaming. And Jossie, I'll let you finish this off.
Okay, yeah, well, again, just remember to give our runners a follow, and also, the Speed Gaming networks, they're really great about restreaming so many of the league matches here, as well as, many other tournaments that Tracy and I have both worked on. And also check out the league channels, because we stream a lot of matches there as well, especially the Open League, more up-and-coming runners who you might not be as familiar with. So it's a good way to get to know more members of the community. But with that, that'll do it for us tonight. And we hope you tune in tomorrow. The first invitational match is going to be at 3:10 p.m. Eastern between Solsky and Top Life, time to be determined. So have a good night.